Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to any new viewers. This is going to be one of my motivating videos, reassuring videos to get you guys back on track. If you're struggling, if you're kind of 50-50, like what's going on with my manifestation, I feel like giving up, should I give up, which are pretty normal thoughts to have. Obviously, you know, every human, we're not going to have 100% confidence, we're going to have these moments, but today I'm going to help you guys get back on track, refocus and actually figure out how to get exactly what you want with your manifestation, probably with a specific person, I'm presuming, and I'm going to tell you guys all the advice and points I would recommend for this area when you're feeling like this. So in just a moment, we'll get into that. If you are struggling and you do want that extra personalized one-to-one support where I help you guys directly, I have my monthly membership, the LOA Coaching Darlings, which is my most affordable way to get extra support, exclusive content. So everything for my coaching services, for extra one-to-one direct support, will be linked below. The buttons are all below, the links are all below in the description box. And by the time you're watching this, you will have just about missed out on the first March set of exclusive content, but starting from April, from today, or the beginning of April as you guys are watching this, there will be all of the rest of the month's exclusive content. So do sign up if you want, and now let's get into the video. Circumstances and other people's opinions literally have no relevance to your manifestation. It doesn't matter what the temporary circumstances are. If, you know, things are not going your way, obviously they're not perfect because you're manifesting something consciously. They're not exactly as you want. It doesn't mean you can't have your manifestation. It has to be difficult. It has to take a long time. None of it is relevant or definitive for your end result, for your manifestation. It's not to say that because right now you're seeing the opposite of what you want, that you have to wait 6 months or you have to work super hard and, you know, be 100% on top of every little thought, every little thing when manifesting. It's not the case, as well as other people's opinions, other people's words, how other people behave or their thoughts on your manifestation, on your relationship. It doesn't mean it can't be turned around into a positive, or again, that, you know, your end result doesn't already exist, that it isn't possible. None of what they say can make that true. You know, it is possible, it is simple, it is relatively easy if you put in the effort and persist. So it doesn't have to be a difficult or overwhelming process. So yeah, just remember that the circumstances or anything opposing your end result that you're seeing in your reality from any source, it's not definitive, it's not permanent, it's not objective. You can choose to disengage with that and say, actually, no, everything's perfect, everything's positive, I'm manifesting perfectly. It doesn't mean because you're seeing, you know, logical, rational reasons for why the opposite is present right now in your reality or opinions people have, it doesn't have to reflect on what you think, how you go about your manifestation. However, if it does come down to your own thoughts and it's not necessarily slightly more external sources that are affecting you, if it's your own thoughts, then maybe rethink, of course, if you want to keep manifesting your desire, if it does make you happy. So if you're thinking, you know, you want to give up, you're frustrated, you're kind of feeling overwhelmed and exhausted with your manifestation and the whole process, and you're just kind of questioning everything, it's okay to question it. I'm not saying that you should be 100% set and confident on getting your manifestation. It's okay to say, all right, I'm just going to take a day, I'm going to take this moment to rethink it. Does it make you happy? Is it still what you genuinely want? Doesn't matter if you've spent a long time trying to manifest it. If it's not your desired goal, or if your mind or thoughts and character and maturity, whatever, has developed and changed to a point where you just think, okay, I've actually changed my mind, I've evolved beyond that manifestation or that relationship, that's okay. Take a moment to rethink. If it's your own thoughts and internally you're just not feeling 100% with your manifestation, at that point, yes, I would say it's completely fine and acceptable on that basis to give up. So yeah, rethink, does it actually make you happy? Because if you're having doubts within yourself, then that is a sign that maybe you need to rethink where that's coming from, what's the root, and what does it actually mean in regards to what you want. So if you're just feeling doubt in terms of the process and being able to achieve your goal, but it's not, do I actually want this goal? Because there's a clear, you know, defining line between the two, and, you know, you still want the desire, it's just the process and the way you're manifesting in your mindset and your perceived circumstances that is creating doubt, that is completely different. That is something that you should work beyond, and you do need to be able to get over that and move past that with your mindset and your mental diet, because don't let doubt be a deciding factor. There's absolutely no reason you have to give up or struggle and have a lot of up and down and hot and cold experiences when manifesting, just because there's rational thoughts and past circumstances, negative thoughts and doubt, you know, seeping into your thoughts and your mind that keeps replaying. That is not supposed to hold you back. That shouldn't hold you back. You can work past that day by day. I have other videos that go far more in depth on this, but just the concept of doubt, and if that's what you're experiencing, you're saying, oh yeah, I can relate to that, what Alexa's saying right now. Don't let that hold you back. Say, okay, just doubt about being able to achieve what I want, and knowing that this is my goal, this is what I truly want, but it's been difficult so far. Don't let it hold you back. Also remember that, you know, you're having those kind of thoughts and negative thoughts. It's perfectly normal, but it is something to move past and get beyond and work through. You need to be pushing back against that. And then also on the other side of it, what you're seeing in your 3D reality, remind yourself that, you know, movement isn't always visible, so it shouldn't be another reason why you're saying, well, I'm just going to give up, or this is too difficult, this is taking too long. You're not holding on to the positive facts and positive principles of why manifesting is actually such a beautiful, powerful tool in life, and literally just the act of positive thinking, because movement isn't always visible, especially with an SP, which is why I said at the beginning of the video, I think a lot of people watching this video are probably manifesting a specific person and a relationship, because the movement with a person happens internally a lot. I did touch on that in my previous video, the video I literally just uploaded a few days ago, so you can watch that if you're manifesting an SP and struggling, because sometimes movement genuinely is behind the scenes, it's internal for them, so you won't see or experience that until, you know, down the line if they tell you or, you know, share something. So just remind yourself, things are not always visible in the physical reality as they are conforming. So you could be creating amazing shifts every single day, but you're just not privy to them yet. You can't see it yet. Obviously, you're living your own life in your physical reality, and, you know, SP has their own individual life, and the movement is happening. So don't focus on the negatives. Don't hold yourself back just because a couple of things are showing the opposite. And also your own practice of repetition. It is affecting the 3D reality. The repetition is conforming your own mind. It's saturating your subconscious mind, shifting all the beliefs that are negative and tied to your manifestation, erasing those and replacing them with the positive beliefs that you're repeating over and over, and therefore it has to reflect in your 3D reality. You cannot have positive beliefs and assumptions and think positively about your SP or your end result in any way, and then have something negative being reflected back to you or being present in your physical reality. So it has to change eventually, even if at this moment you are creating the changes, even if at this moment physically it doesn't look positive, it has to shift. You just have to persist and be consistent, and the 3D reality will have no choice but to reflect it. It's also important not to rely so much on your 3D reality. You're trying to seek reassurance or validation and basing your judgment of your manifestation and your ability to manifest on what you're seeing just in front of you with your circumstances, and that is the wrong approach. It's okay to do that, but try and flip it around as soon as it happens. Recognize, okay, I shouldn't be thinking that way, I'm going to change it around. Because if you're relying on the 3D reality for validation, then you're just going to be stuck in a loop of whatever you're seeing presented in front of you. Not only is it not going to change, but your mood and your thoughts and your assumptions are not going to change for the positive, because you're constantly going to be looking externally for that validation. So obviously, as I said, the main things are continuing to be consistent with your mindset, being stricter with your mental diet, catching those thoughts, turning them back around if it really is just things externally that are impacting your desire to keep going and your resilience and your confidence. That is not a reason to give up. Just because you're looking at things and saying, well, X, Y, Z and all these circumstances, they're not what I want, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean your manifestation cannot very easily and perfectly happen. So stricter on your mental diet, focusing on being more resilient to the best of your ability. Another great practice is you can do things like guided meditations, just taking moments to relax and calm down. You don't need to be stressed or anxious throughout this process. It should be empowering, confidence boosting. So if you're not feeling that way, it's okay to take a little bit of time, do some guided meditations, visualizing, to refocus your mind, just calm down and just like, recenter and refocus. So your mind isn't scattered to every single memory and past, present, and future. So you can just be present in the moment and really focus. Also, you are in control of your reality, so if you do want to give up, like I said, it's entirely up to you. If it is something that you think that no longer makes you happy, obviously you have zero obligation to continue with that. If it's not a goal that you want, or it's not something that you feel would be positive or happy, you don't need to keep manifesting it. Obviously, you're ultimately the creator of your physical reality and what's going on around you, so you can change your mind. It's always up to you. Take a break if you're really struggling, if you feel confused and overwhelmed. Take the time to yourself. You are most important when manifesting. You're at the center of your physical reality. You can't manifest positive changes if you're feeling overwhelmed and anxious and stressed and like you can't even focus on the positive end result. So take a little bit of time, refocus, and then get back to persisting. So that is going to be today's video. I think I summarized and explained my points as best as I can. Hopefully that was reassuring and motivating for you guys. If you did enjoy it, then do thumbs up, turn on that notification bell, subscribe to my channel so you can be up to date with all my upcoming content and any extra exclusive content or special offers for members and coaching. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.